We have big news this evening. Donald Trump has doubled down on his statement, saying that he does not think about your financial situation, saying that it was a, quote, perfect statement. I'm serious.
Didn't we warn you? Didn't we tell you? Didn't we tell you? Now, I really can't stand some of you motherfuckers. Cultural supremacy in the absence of appreciating your own value. Rooted in hatred. Now this gets deep. Not just the hatred that is told to you per se, or that you embody as an adult, but the indoctrinated hatred, the inherited hatred, which has been normalized. The words, the nuances. White America, you hate. And because of your hatred, you've inadvertently devalued who you are as people. Now, history lesson for white people. Black people deal with racism. White people deal with classism. So while white America hates everything that isn't white, you're realizing that the white motherfuckers who convinced you to give them your vote by allowing you to echo the same sentiments of racism, bigotry, hatred, have done absolutely nothing for you. And they will not do anything for you. At least not these white men. See, they realize that every MAGA, every Trump supporter, every Republican, not the politicians, you're never going to be them. You're pieces on the board. The Republicans, they know Democrats do things for people. Republicans, they know Democrats get the job done. You guys, based on your hatred and bigotry, refuse to see it. Every Democratic president we've had, white people, you were able to benefit from the programs. If not, it was you yourself who didn't bust your ass hard enough to accomplish something in life to reap said benefits. But Democrats have always helped other people. But because of your internalized hatred, racism, and bigotry, you just stomp your feet and blame everyone getting everything that you feel you can't get, even though you haven't applied yourself to get the shit that everyone else has. You would rather throw a temper tantrum and stand alone instead of migrating with other people, because the Mexican family who isn't from here got something, which they don't. And if they do, it's by the fucking state. And 9 times out of 10, or 10 times out of 10, if someone who isn't white qualifies for something, your white ass does. You know why? Because in no fucking system could anything be for everyone except white people. Because guess who's in fucking charge? So right then and there, you being uneducated and the politicians knowing the game, they convinced you to give your fucking vote at the expense of you getting nothing, because they know your vote will allow them to do what every Republican president has been doing. And that's ripping off uneducated, dumb, poor people, white people. While you blame someone who isn't fucking white, who, might I add, isn't even in power. Because they know you don't know your own fucking worth. Hatred is your worth. And your hatred is very lucrative to these rich white motherfuckers who, in your face, gave $40 billion to Argentina. The same motherfucking country that stood in allegiance with America, and who else? Spain, that said, oh, nothing wrong with slavery. Now, you may think slavery pertains to African Americans. No, slavery is just what the fuck it is. Putting you through fucked up situations at the expense of labor, giving you next to nothing to make ends meet. If you wake up in the morning, spend 8 hours away from your wonderful family because you got to take care of them at a job that at any given time can snap its fingers and send your ass home, it's slavery. You have to work 40 plus fucking years. And then you're in your 60s, you think you're going to go have fun. No, the fuck you're not. You're too broke down to do anything. And ask yourself this, why should you spend your time having fun in the 60s when it's not fun? Slavery. You deal with classism, we deal with racism. And at the expense of your lack of value and hate being used as currency, this is what's happening. That man said he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care that you're broke. He doesn't care. At some point, you have to say, we fucked up. At some point, you have to say, wow, what everyone was saying was true. What this black man is saying to me right now is true. Because guess what? Fair and impartial. Fair and impartial. Even if they were to say, Democrats get nothing, we're going to give it to everyone who voted MAGA, it still hasn't happened. The fact that other countries received money before the American people who voted for the people who are in charge, game over. That should let you know that's it. That's it. Now, if you really want to prove me wrong, look up all the data where Democratic presidents were in charge. And before you uneducated motherfuckers say, oh, Joe Biden, it was a fucking pandemic. He has no control over viruses. Though some countries do, and they may use it as a biological weapon. It wasn't us this time. We have an opportunity, whether you are as boisterous as me or quiet as a church house mouse. You have a chance to be on the right side of history and vote this shit out and vote shit in and don't listen to the things that make you hate. Look what's happening to people who hate. Look at Chud the Builder. For what it's worth, he's a handsome young guy. And if he would have applied himself into something other than fucking around with black people, he possibly could be doing bigger and better things. But where is he right now? Where is he? Removed from everything that made him comfortable because of hatred. Every organization, every movement, every person who's operated on behalf of white supremacy has failed and or lost. You want me to go deeper? Adolf Hitler, Nazis, were trying to conquer the globe and oppress not just people, but white people too. If you didn't have blue eyes and blonde hair, you were on the chopping block. He lost. And America lost because America didn't do it on its own. America couldn't take the certified capital L. It had to take the lowercase l. We won, but at who helped us? You know what I mean? None of this shit ever worked out for anyone. The Civil War. You have to start looking at the order of things. If white people weren't racist, there would be no need for any of this shit that's happening right now. You look at science, you look at medicine. I mean, if you really want to get technical with all the money right now, if people really gave a fuck, there would be no crime. Why? Because people would have an opportunity to where they wouldn't need to be out there committing crime. See how this shit works? The intricate components of a society? When you give a fuck, when you truly care, the contingency plans to ensure people don't do bad things comes first. Because everyone would have a fucking opportunity. Everyone would be able to eat. Even if you were a fucking full-blown loser, you would still be able to live. So this should be a wake-up call. We deal with racism, you deal with classism. And today, you were reminded again after he said it the first time. No, you heard me right. I don't care about your financial situation. I don't care. Now you've inadvertently created a society that you yourself can't even live in. And maybe you can. What about your family members? What about your like-minded Americans who voted right alongside you for the same person? Do you not care about them? When you start seeing the sparkle in your being, recognizing who the fuck you are, regardless of what political spectrum you're on, that you're worthy of more than what these motherfuckers are giving you, well, things will change. But it's in your lap. We tried to tell you that the bridge was rigged with explosives. You didn't want to listen. And now you're asking us to help you recover portions of human remains. No. But I tell you what, you recover your lost people, you recover your element and shit. You guys do an AAR. You reset. You do a proper AAR and fix those deficiencies. I have no doubt in my mind. I have no doubt in my mind that we could make this shit work. Everything exists, whether you want to believe it or not. Doesn't matter if you like it or not. Doesn't matter. Everything exists. They're not pushing an agenda. What you consider is an agenda being pushed, or people finally being comfortable to let people know they exist. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I guess you guys caught me at a moment. This is a long video, but I tell you what. Regardless of who you are, you're worthy of something. Whether we agree or not, you're worthy of something. And from a motherfucker who sees the forest because I've no longer decided to stay in the forest but move further away so I can truly appreciate the forest, I'll tell you, every last one of you are worth stepping out of the forest to take it all in and see who you really are and how powerful you really are. Peace.